Good evening. This is Meeting the Avance, a News.PH election special. I'm Pia Hontiveros. Long before the age of television and the internet, a Meeting the Avance by tradition was the culminating grand rally of a political party. It was almost always held in a plaza, much like this one, and on the eve of an election. There, the candidates would make their final pitch for the people's votes. But with television and shows such as these, candidates can deliver their message to even the remotest of barrios. Tonight, Team PNoy makes its final pitch to you, our viewers, and the live audience here in Liwasang Bonifacio, as we come to you live from the historic Liwasang Bonifacio, where many a protest was held against a dictatorship and where heroes have defended our freedoms. With us, former Senator June Magsaysay. Good evening, sir. Thank you for being here. Senator Sonny Trillanes and Senator Frank Drilon, Team PNoy's campaign manager and the Liberal Party's vice chairman, who I've heard, although is not a candidate, is also warmly welcomed in the rallies. Thank you so much for being here, Senator Trillanes, Senator Drilon, and Senator Magsaysay. Let's begin with Senator Drilon, sir. Can you tell us, with attendance such as these in your rallies, you don't always have all the Team PNoy candidates present. Are you sure you're still a team, even if everyone's going his or her way?
That's expected. You can look back in all the senatorial campaigns. It is very difficult to put in one stage every night or every rally all the 12 candidates for a very simple reason. Each of them would have their own schedule, would look at their own polls, their own data, see where they are weakest or strongest, and would go to those places, which may not necessarily be the site of our rally, and would send representatives to our rally. Second point, in a rally, you would have 12 candidates. Where you have an invitation, for example, to speak before a graduation, understandably, the candidate would go to that graduation dahil siya lang po mag-isa yung lahat na attention nasa kanya. Kaya hindi po masisisi ang mga senador, mga kandidato na hindi pupunta sa isang rally pagpapadala ng kinatawan, their wife, their children, their son, their daughter, and speak for them in order that they can spread their influence. So that is not unusual, and we knew that from the very start. In fact, I've attended more rallies here than when I was a candidate.
Okay. But is it easier also if it is in a presidential election? Mas madali lang ba?
Well, in a midterm, the focus is on the senators, and therefore it's more difficult because you are examined more, you are subjected to more attention, whereas in a presidential election, sasabit ka lang dun as long as you have a good candidate which you can defend and make speeches in support of that president, you're okay. But dito, midterm election, sa'yo nakafocus bilang senatorial candidate.
Of course, not that this isn't happening also in Una's case, no? Pareho lang kayo. Wala namang pinagkaiba.
Wala.
Pero can you tell us about the realities of a coalition? Because coalition nga kayo, hindi naman lahat ng kasamang kandidato LP. That is also one reason why it's a little bit more difficult.
Well, that has nothing to do with the fact that sometimes there are only 4 senatorial candidates who would personally attend. The fact of the coalition has nothing to do because we have maintained to be the same team of different political parties, different persuasions, but all supporting the President Aquino's program.
But you have Senator Sonny Trillanes here, and he's not LP, no?
Yes, but Sonny has been one of our best team members. He would be consistent in supporting the entire slate because he supports the president. And that is the common denominator of the Team PNoy, the president.
There's supposed to be a Team PNoy meeting the Avance tomorrow here in Manila, in Tondo, and one in Quezon City on Friday. Is this the senatorial meeting the Avance, or are these the local meeting the Avance?
No, that is the both local and national. In the case of Manila, Mayor Lim, that's the meeting the Avance of Mayor Lim. and the senators will be there, whoever is available. The president will be attending. This is at I think it will be at Tondo at 5 o'clock tomorrow.
And Quezon City, the president
Quezon
will also
City
be there.
the day after. Yes.
Okay. Senator Magsaysay, can you tell us how difficult was it during the campaign? Because I'm sure you're pulled in all directions, no? Ang daming imbitasyon, and you have to decide where you're going to go, who you're going to make happy for that night, and sino yung magagalit sa inyo dahil hindi kayo nagpakita doon.
Well, Pia, the most important thing at the beginning of the campaign is to be with the president because he is the political leader, not only of the party but the whole country. He sets the leadership direction of reforms, pagbabago, and we have to be seen with him as Team Pinoy, as Team One. That is easy for us enough. But what Senator Franklin Dillon mentions, that if we were all 12 together, that is like maybe 8% attention. But if we are like 3 now, that is 33% each.
33%.
25% including you. I think
No,
you
it's
have...
okay. Kayo na lang.
So it's a matter of focus. It's a matter of just accepting that you have to go through for 90 days, maybe 6 days a week. We have Monday, Candidates Day off. And finally, we're also happy that there are only 4 days left. It is a pleasure. It has been a pleasure.
Okay. Senator Trillanes, do you also feel like that? Pulled in all directions, ang daming imbitasyon kung saan-saan, and para bang hindi mo na alam kung saan ka pupunta?
Yes, I think it's a matter of proper scheduling. You won't be turning off people if you will only commit to one event or one activity. And if you're not sure, make a soft commitment. Then as you come closer, you give the organizers a chance to pick a new resource speaker. So I think in our case, the campaign as handled by our campaign manager, Senator Dillon, they have provided us with the schedule of the Team Pinoy sorties. And that the sorties when where the president would be available. So we can now schedule or strategize or design our campaign with that schedule of the Team Pinoy.
Did you make it a point to also appear with the president as much as possible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah? Like what? 90% of the time, or did you
I
count?
really don't know.
You lost
Maybe the
track
attendance
already.
list would be...
No, we don't have a attendance list.
Wala. Naku, I'm sure
No,
meron, tinatago nyo lang.
No.
No? Okay. Do you sometimes wish, Senator Trillanes, that you could bilocate? You know, the president was talking about dapat ata mga manananggal kayo or something, so that you can be in not just 2 but 3, 4, 5 places all at one time?
I think it's also a function of the organizing skills of the team. And I think with the Team Pinoy, we have felt really our presence everywhere. Even if we're not in a particular sortie, but the whole team is carried by the local candidates. And that's a function of leadership of the president and our campaign manager.
Okay. Senator Dillon, let's talk about this rather serious issue. Lauren versus Alan. Is there a Lauren versus Alan tiff going on?
Only in the media.
Only in the media?
Yes, only in the
Okay.
media. Well, there is really no tiff. Have you heard anything from Alan? None.
Yeah, why doesn't he say anything? Why doesn't he at least
Well, because in
deny?
the first place, Lauren did not name Alan as the one that she was referring to. And she has, Lauren has assured the President and myself and the Secretary Mar that he remains to be in the Team Pinoy. So there is no really. I didn't even talk to Alan about this because I will be assuming that he is the one referred to by Lauren, which Lauren never mentioned.
And even privately, Lauren never told you that, it's Alan or somebody else? Or
No,
Wala.
Lauren mentioned about the publicist or the PR guy. The PR guy.
Yeah, okay. And so there was no Lauren Allen Tiff that the president had to attend to
No
settle?
such thing. No such thing.
No such thing.
No such thing.
You're not just denying it because you're on television.
I started the campaign of Team PNoy in your program. Don't forget that.
Yes. No, I won't ever forget.
Yeah.
Oo.
I started here when I defined the issues. I remember being appearing in your program with the campaign manager of the other side, and we said, from here on, you are the opposition, we are the administration, and they refused to
Yes.
accept that, if you recall.
Yes,
And they were trying to muddle the issue. So I think in the course of the last 85 days, we were able to clearly delineate that the president and the Team PNoy is his team, and this is the administration, and that UNA is the opposition. So that give the people a choice 5 days from now. If they believe that the president has done well in the past 3 years and should be given his team for the next 3 years, then we should vote for all the candidates of the president.
Just one last question, Senator, on Senator Lauren Legarda. Is there any conflict with, or are you satisfied with the way she replied to this or responded to this controversy? And is there any conflict with the way she voted in the Corona impeachment trial?
I don't believe that there is any conflict. I think she has responded well to the accusations against her, and I read her vote, and I saw how she defended herself insofar as the Salan is concerned. I don't see any conflict.
Okay. Let's talk about issues that helped you most during the campaign. When you first ran, Senator Trillanes, you won because a vote for you was seen as a protest vote. This was the 2007 elections, and you were still incarcerated at the time. What does a vote for you represent in this midterm election?
I think let's start off with that assumption that the first one was about a protest vote. It was only given by what I term pseudo-analysts. They said it was just a protest vote. I don't
Against
believe so.
Gloria Arroyo.
Yes, I don't believe so. Otherwise, the whole slate of the genuine opposition should have won. And it's not the case. Of course, I think only 7 of the genuine opposition members won. So I think we're basing this question on that wrong assumption.
Yeah.
Right now, I think the vote for me would mean the continuing advocacy for reform and to check the excesses of abusive officials in government.
Was it also because mahilig ang botante sa mga rebelde? Ganun ba yun?
I don't
What
know.
is it?
Because
Because they also elected Gregorio Onasan.
Yes. But in 2010, some of the military rebels were not so fortunate. And of course, there may be some other factors in play.
Like what? Looks?
I don't know.
What?
No, I don't know. Definitely not.
No?
I think it's more of the timing because as mentioned earlier by Senator Dillon, during a presidential election, the focus will be on the president, not on the senatorial candidates. So had they ran probably in midterm elections, they would have won.
Senator Magsaysay, what do you think is the issue that helped you most during the campaign? Is it your father's legacy? What is it?
It's always been the late President Magsaysay's legacy of good government, honest public service, which I tried to carry with me when I was a senator since 95 up to 2007. So the legacy that he left behind, I think, carries a lot of latent goodwill. But that was over 55 years ago. And now I was away for 6 years. But it seems that it has quietly sustained the goodwill that he started and that I have maintained when I was 12 years in the Senate.
Are any of your children or your nephews or nieces interested in politics? Are we going to see a Magsaysay dynasty?
No, at this
No?
time, they are very happy studying, my grandchildren. I have a son and a daughter. My daughter is in Boston, USA with her family, and my son is here trying to manage our small businesses.
The small business, the ice cream,
The ice
dairy-
cream,
the dairy farm?
the cable TV and data.
cable TV.
And we're happy. He's happy.
Uh-huh.
He has more time with his children.
Okay.
Yes.
And if he gets into politics, gugulo lang buhay niya.
I'll try to discourage him.
Yeah.
I'll try to discourage him. Maybe when he's already in his mid-50s. Maybe.
Okay.
But one at a time, not being together to form a dynasty.
Okay.
Yes.
Who are you referring to?
I'm talking about culture and the fact that quite a lot of our politicians have their own culture of putting everybody together to run for office, which I find very much against the provision of the Constitution. So I hope that eventually they will become more democratic and allow other families or other individuals to participate in the democratic process and not just their family.
Okay, I'm sure you do a lot of discussions with your campaign teams and, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses? What is the one issue, Senator Trillanes, you think was your weakness in this campaign?
I think the weakness right now that we're addressing is that there's an ongoing black propaganda against us actually with Senator Lauren Regarda. And this involves a certain bill that we have allegedly filed, a bill that would reduce the pension and the salaries of teachers, soldiers, and policemen. And
Yun
it's
talaga
absurd.
yung target. Ano?
Yes.
And it's not true, right?
It's not true, definitely. And but what's sad is when it was spread around by these propagandists, I think it's the same publicist that attacked Senator Lauren.
Pangalanan nyo na nga.
Yes, he's a certain Willie F.
Certain Willie F.
Yes, okay. And
F as in.
so eventually, of course, some of the teachers and the soldiers who received those text messages got a bit paranoid, and until eventually they got several text messages, then they started to conclude that it's true. Of course, it's not true. So I welcome this opportunity to address that to the soldiers, the policemen, the teachers, and the pensioners who are concerned about such a bill. There is no bill like that. It is a lie. It is a propaganda peddled by our political enemies.
Well, Chief PNP Alan Purisima sent out a text message to police officers and men and said as much as that.
Yes.
Na hindi naman
And-
daw totoo.
Yes, and we appreciated that very much.
Okay. Senator Magsaysay, what is your weakest point?
I don't think I have any weak point. It's the generation issue, which is not really a weak point.
Generation issue. That's a nice
Yes,
way of saying.
age.
Okay.
I'm the most senior in the Team PNoy, and I feel that being a very young country with a median age of 23 years old, maybe 40% are 35 years old and younger as voters. So I have to reach them. So I have to ask the parents and even grandparents to talk to their children and grandchildren that Jun Magsaysay is a nice guy. And I was once a young congressman of 27, and I was the sponsor of the e-commerce law that made business process outsourcing what it is today, from 10,000 seats to over 750,000 seats in 12 years. So I want to give jobs, opportunities, and develop more entrepreneurs through small and medium enterprise. So I'm a good guy. So except for the generation, like Clint Eastwood is 80 years old, still making good films. I'm 74, I'm still
Bata pa.
raising cows and milking milk, milking dairy. One of our best customers is Franklin Delon because he loves our fresh milk yogurt.
Okay.
Guaranteed to make your stomach quiet.
And wait, you are reaching out to all these young people. You think that
Yes,
you've reached out
I
to
think
them?
the young people would like to listen to somebody who has experience in enterprise, who can motivate them to take risks and not just be an employee, because it is in developing new jobs that we can develop new employment for our millions of young people who are graduating.
Okay. Senator Drilon, can you step in here and tell us about how your candidates are doing? You know, we're all aware of the surveys, no? And, you know, it's 7.5, 9.3, etc., no? Pero ano ba talaga yung totoo?
Yung totoo, sinisikap namin na lahat na 12 mananalo sa Team Pinoy. That is always our objective from the start, continues to be our objective to this day. And we will never give up on our fight to have the whole slate be in the Senate.
But is that a realistic goal? Are you going to get 12-0?
Whether or not realistic, that is our goal.
9-3, 10-2, 11-1?
No, the whole slate.
The whole slate.
Yes.
Well, Franklin, I want to explain that during the late president's time in 1954, 55, mid-year, there were 8 candidates, and he got 7 with Senator Recto, who was joined by the opposition, actually also nationalista, as the 8th. So during his midterm, in that time, he got 7 out of 8, in effect.
Okay.
During Cory's time, I think in 87,
22 out of
22
24.
out of 24.
22 out of 24. So you can see the possibility of a very popular president who's sincere and means to do well and improve governance by reducing corruption, improving management, that 12-0 is possible.
Okay.
It's possible.
So this election is a referendum on the president, his performance,
Yes.
more than it is a preview of what's going to happen in 2016.
That's correct. If you recall, Pia, when I first appeared in your show, I really put that very clearly. This is a referendum on the president's performance. That is why we called it Team PNoy. And this is not by accident. We really thought about it. We cleared it with the president. And I did put it on the table. I said, Mr. President, we call it Team PNoy. There are risks involved. If we do not do well in the election, it will be your administration who will suffer. And therefore, we are spending your political capital here. He said, go ahead. What is political capital for if we don't spend it? And that's precisely what we did. We had focus group discussions upon his instructions. And when the FGD came back with favorable results, we had his authority to use Team PNoy as the name for our team.
Okay. Senator Trillanes, what is the one thing you would move heaven and earth to change about the Senate, which will have a direct impact on people's lives?
Well, of course,
Don't say JPE, mamaya na yun.
we need to change the leadership in the Senate. I think it comes down to that. Because if you have the agenda of the president and it's not aligned with the agenda of the Senate leadership, then it's just going to, you'll have a stalemate and you won't move things forward. But it doesn't mean also that you will be a lackey of the administration. No, it just means that for policies that would bring about productivity and reform, you can be partners in with the administration.
Senator Magsaysay, let me ask you that same question. What is that one thing that you would move heaven and earth to change about the Senate if you get there?
I think the Senate has to first study the advocacy of our president, which is honest government and more effective use of funds. Then just look at the laws that might be already out of out of necessity. Try to simplify the bureaucracy. I think the president wants more business coming in, more investments coming in, and if we do not simplify the bureaucracy and cut red tape, which is based on laws and implementing rules and regulation, we will never attract foreign and local capital to put more money to develop businesses. So that would be the wish list of the new set of senators, to be modern in management, remove the mediocrity, and put very good administrators in the agencies.
Senator Trillanes, let's go back to that situation, that scenario where happy ka. Yung merong change in the Senate leadership. If at least 9 or 10 or even 11 of Team PNoy's candidates make it in this election, would that change? How would that change or upset the balance of power in the Senate?
I think at this point in time, we can't do the numbers yet. We
Because?
can't, it's going to be too presumptuous. That's one. But if you're going to project, I think
Project. Tell us na lang how many do you need na kailangang manalo sa Team PNoy ngayon para magawa mo yung gusto mo, para maging happy ka sa Senado?
I think as low as 7 would do the trick. But if you want a good sized majority, an overwhelming majority, you need the whole 12. You need the whole 12.
What will a change in leadership mean for 2016?
I don't think it will directly affect the equation in 2016. It's about governance or assisting or helping out the president in the second half of his term. I think that's what the coalition is about. It's not about anything beyond 2016.
But in the last, when was this, January, sometime January, when Senate President Enrile moved for that vote, you had the a few LP senators still voting to retain him, right?
Yes, it's the decision of the ruling party that it is in the interest of the party and the country to retain the Senate leadership. So it's their prerogative.
Senator Drilon, can you enlighten us on that?
Which one?
Yung nangyaring botohan, that Senate President Enrile himself called for.
Hindi ko na maalala eh.
You'd rather not remember.
I would rather not remember.
No, seriously.
No, seriously. Anyway, seriously, the next Senate will be the 60th Congress. And automatically, there will be an election of officers. And there will be a new Senate. And therefore, there will be a new set of officers, officials elected.
Yeah.
And it's the will of the majority of the senators, whoever will sit in the rostrum.
Can we do the math right now? Can we do the math based on who are senators until 2016? So there are 12 of them, no? Of the 12, sino ang allies, kaalyado ng administration?
Of the 12 sitting right now.
12 sitting until 2016.
Well, not necessarily aliado ko. I mean, let's veer away from personalities. Right now, let's say come July 1, the new Congress, and looking at the present senator sitting, we have 3 Liberal Party members, myself,
TG Gingonan,
TG, and Ralph
Recto.
And then you have allies of the president. I would count Lito Lapid, Serge Osmeña. The president is in coalition with the Nacionalista Party.
So we count Pia Cayetano.
You can count Pia Cayetano and
Can we count?
And who?
Bongbong Marcos?
Bongbong Marcos to a certain extent.
To a certain extent.
Issue and Miriam Defensor.
Miriam.
Who is associated and allied with the Nacionalista Party.
Okay, so we have about 7 to 8
Yes,
of the
thereabouts.
senators, of the
Of the
12
12
senators
right
who are
now.
until 2016.
That's right.
So that means that you will need how many?
Well, for the administration, you can count it from there. I agree with Sonny here, Senator Sonny. 7 would be a comfortable number.
7, comfortable.
Yeah, 7 would give the administration the majority.
Okay. And you will not, it doesn't worry you if you don't get enough people in the Senate.
Of course it worries us. We are working hard to have every member of the President's team be in the Senate because, as Senator Trillanes said, the next 3 years is all about continuing and putting in place all the reforms necessary so that whoever comes in 2016, we will have these policies in place. Just to concretize what I'm saying, to me, topmost in the agenda for the next Congress will be the amendments to the charter of the Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao, the regional government, with the framework agreement having been signed and hopefully with the MILF, the transition committee will come up with the new charter. That is an important aspect of legislation that the administration must work on and which the president must have the support of the majority in the Senate. Otherwise, you'll never be able to see a sustained stability in Mindanao. This is an example of what we're saying in concrete terms.
Yes, since Una's listening to you, I'm sure they're also doing the math and making sure that they get enough people so that you can't wrest control from them. Anyway, we're going to have to take a short break. Meeting the Avance and News.PH election special. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Meeting the Avance and News.PH election special. It's Team PNoy's night, at least 1/6 of them. Yes, you can hear all the supporters of Senator Magsaysay and Senator Trillanes here. Senator June Magsaysay is with us, Senator Antonio Trillanes, Sandy Trillanes, and Senator Frank Drilon. Okay, let's go back to the fight for the Senate leadership. Siyempre, ang susunod na tanong is, sino dapat ang pambato ng administration coalition in the fight for the Senate presidency?
I think it's too premature to discuss that. As Sandy earlier said, it is presumptuous to discuss that matter because, until the May 13 election takes place, you'll never know who will be there.
Okay, but no, we're talking about who's already there. And I heard it's going to be you, Senator Drilon.
I know who you've been hearing, who I've been listening to.
So hindi ikaw?
There is, as I said, it is too presumptuous for us to talk about this thing.
Senator Magsaysay, you wanted to respond?
Well, we have to look at the campaign manager. He's the big man. We need a big man to strengthen the reforms in government. A big, strong leader in the Senate. We have a good, strong speaker in the House and a very moral, upright president. Then you've got the triangle of better, decent society.
Senator Trillanes, noong January, when you wanted the Senate leadership to change, wasn't Senator Drilon your candidate for Senate President?
Yes, ma'am. But back then, we also had Senator Manny Villar along with Senator Frank Drilon as possible replacements for the leadership.
Okay. So what will happen after the elections? Because Manny Villar will no longer be there.
Yes.
Maybe Cynthia Villar will be there, no? So
Yes, but
it's something you need to talk about after the elections?
well, we can't really comment at this point because it will be too presumptuous, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Senator Magsaysay, the fertilizer fund scam report of your committee was as damaging to the Arroyo administration as it was as daring for you, no? My question is, if there is an anomaly in this administration, would you investigate it also?
I think that is the duty of all the senators who chair the committees of important agencies to ferret the truth, regardless of what happens. That is what we are sworn to do. I was with the GMA administration as a committee chairman of agriculture, but I had to do my job. So I feel that the president will understand that if any of us sees something amiss or abnormal about certain agencies' operations, that we come forward and try to correct it, if not put out all the rascals out of their jobs. It's very important for credibility, integrity, and good performance.
Senator Trillanes?
The good thing about being allied with the president is you can talk to him directly about any anomaly in any agency of the government, and he reacts instantly. He conducts his own investigation, so you won't need to have a committee hearing to ferret out the truth, as mentioned by Senator Magsaysay. So they have been very, very responsive to any information concerning anomalies in government. But should the president, in the unlikely possibility that the president will sit on that information, we will as an independent body, co-equal branch of government, we will investigate. Yeah.
Is there any, Senator Magsaysay, is there any issue or anomaly of the past administration, the Arroyo administration, that you think still needs to be investigated?
I think the Ombudsman and the Sandigan Bayan have this all checked out. So I would rather that they continue the investigation, the formal filing of the cases to the Sandigan Bayan, and the Sandigan Bayan must try to decide as soon as possible, not to delay so much their decisions on this, because as long as the culprits are not judged and punished or done other things, they'll be moving around and feeling that they can never be caught. So it's important that the justice system does the due process, and some individuals are punished accordingly.
Senator Trillanes, you ran in 2007, but you ran from a jail cell. No? So this is actually your first time on the campaign trail. What was it like?
Of course, it's very much different and very liberating, literally. And well, the good thing about the campaign, as would be shared also by Senators Franklin Drilon and Senator Magsaysay, would be you get to see the raw beauty of the country, and at the same time you get to see the real problems all over. So these inputs can be useful should you win as a Senator of the Republic. And as for the different campaign tactics, I think right now the campaign has evolved. It's less rallies, political rallies, and motorcades, but more information technology, and the media, of course,
and social media.
Yes, social media. And I think the Team PNoy campaign was designed that way, to maximize the exposure to the media, social media, and at the same time, they had the organization down to the barangay level. So all areas have been covered.
How many provinces did you go to? Did you count?
Yes, ma'am. I think around 50.
50?
Around 50.
A little more than
provinces.
half. Just 50?
The first half of the campaign, Pia, we visited 30 provinces in 45 days. And the president was in 15 of those. He was in, I repeat, in the first 45 days of the campaign, Team PNoy held rallies in 30 provinces, in which the president was present in 15. But having said that, these rallies were designed to be media events because in a rally, 5,000, 10,000 crowd.
Yes. O ilan lang yung nare-reach nyo.
Yeah, marireach mo. But, so you can only justify the expense of a sortie or a rally if you make it a media event, and that has been the design of a number of our rallies. We cannot do it every time, but for example, Senator June Magsaysay in Alaminos, Pangasinan was trying to figure out how to make sausages, or in Pampanga, how to a number of our senatorial candidates how to eat watermelon and all that stuff. So you know, you have to do it as a media event in order to attract media's attention, because otherwise, just a rally, you'll have a limited audience of 5,000-10,000.
So the handshaking doesn't really...
It is also important, handshaking and being present, because when you go to the radio and say, I am here in Butuan, the one between the one who listens and the candidate is stronger when they know that you are visiting the province, even if they hear you only on the radio.
Are you going to write a book soon on, campaigning?
No, I don't feel qualified to do
You
it.
don't Hindi pa ba? Wait, Senator Magsaysay, how many provinces have you been to? You are the
I think,
salutatorian daw ng Team PNoy sa kampanya.
Well, it's a 90-day campaign for the national candidates. But even prior to that, you're already going around as recent as September last year. So I would think about half of the provinces. But again, as Franklin would mention, it's more of the media and going to the extent of doing something special for a special crop or industry in certain provinces, like in Alaminos, Pangasinan. They were making all these sausages and all these local dishes, and which really attracts media attention. I think people are tired of plain politics and speech making.
Right.
That sound bites like less than 3 minutes are appreciated, but they would like a bit of entertainment, like Coco Pimentel would sing. Imagine. So this is something that is a break for them. So each one has to have his own simple gimmicks. So less politics, more action, and more focus on certain special food or process in certain provinces.
Okay. What were the unforgettable, I'm sure you have anecdotes, little stories, vignettes, Senator Trillanes?
I think right now the experiences would involve these new places that I've been to. I try to visit the provinces most likely would be excluded in the formal sorties, like I've been to Dinagat, in Siargao, or Marinduque, so in Masbate. So these are provinces that have been normally excluded in the campaign. So you get to see these new places, and you get to have ideas about how to institute change and reform later on.
We mentioned social media a while ago. You're all active on social media, no? Senator Trillanes, do you tweet yourself? Or
Yes.
is someone tweeting for you on Twitter?
There is a staff, but all the tweets are coming from me. Even the codes. So we do that, but you can't tweet it or man your account 24/7 because there are inquiries, so they refer it to me as it comes. So I have a more hands-on approach on Facebook and Twitter.
Senator Magsaysay, did one of your kids or your grandchildren set up your Twitter account for you?
My staff,
Your staff.
takes care of that. When I go for a interview I have a young fellow who just listens to my sound bites and tries to amplify it and twitch it immediately. So it's like at the same time, it's simultaneous and it's relevant to the current events of the day that I am asked about. So it's Facebook is more on photos of some volunteers who have their cameras, like the iPhone, that they can send to the
Right.
Facebook page right away.
Right. But social media, of course, is two-sided, no? So there's the good side of it, you reach people. But this is also one way for people to reach you, no? And criticize you. Do you get that, Senator Trillanes, on social media?
Yes, ma'am. But we try to differentiate the objective criticisms and the bashers. The fake accounts just to
Trolls,
bash. We try to block these accounts out right away, and we address the objective and authentic criticisms. Yeah.
Do you have that same problem, Senator Magsaysay? In social media?
Very
Hindi.
negligible, maybe 2%, 3% negative. I think the other group should be trying to minimize the good effects. But it's good to share quotations, it's good to share good photos, and to show that you like certain things. So it's an instant feedback to us or to our staff that certain things are preferred. If you get a hit of 40, you're happy. But when you are eating corn with some kids and sharing the mais with them, you get maybe 300. So I think the Facebook friends and fans like something local, something fresh, and candid, and not contrived. It's good. It's fresh, refreshing.
Your Twitter name, of course, is R. Magsaysay Jr., right?
Yes, R. Magsaysay Jr.
And Senator Trillanes, yours is Trillanes?
At Trillanes Sunny.
Bakit mo binaliktad? Did somebody get Sunny Trillanes already? It's a Twitter name.
I don't know, but I think it's so that the last name would be more
Okay,
prominent.
for recall. Senator Drilon, you have, of course, a Twitter account also, no?
That's correct.
Which one do you actually...
Francahan.
Francahan. Okay, because there's another one, Franklin Drilon, or Frank Drilon, and
Well, the Francahan is what I use.
Francahan. Okay, do you tweet yourself?
Well, the same as these two guys. I have a staff who would handle it, and I think that's true for all of us.
Yeah.
But certainly, what goes into the tweet, we know, and it's cleared with us in substance,
Yes.
and not necessarily in exactly the word, the phrase the phraseology, but the substance is clear with us.
Yeah. Of course, I spent quite a lot of time on social media because this is one way that you keep in touch with the very young people because everybody's on social media. But anyway, I asked also about the provinces earlier because I was told that a challenge for the candidates also is yung speaking in the different dialects. No? You try your best to speak in the dialect of the province where you are. Did you have any funny experiences na you tried? Senator Trillanes?
I won't even try anymore. So
It's that bad?
it's that bad. It's that bad.
Okay.
So, but in Bicol, I try to speak the local dialect because my dad's from there, and I know how to speak Bicolano. So in some sorties involving, let's say, Ilonggo-speaking provinces, I send my wife as representatives because
She's Ilongga.
Yes, she's
From?
One of the pleasant surprises I had was knowing Arlene, who happens to be from Iloilo. When I met her in General Santos and started speaking in Ilonggo, I was looking at her. I said, I never realized that Arlene is from the Visayas province. So those are one of the things that I discovered in this campaign.
Okay. But of course, in the campaign, you try to speak in the different... paano ba yun? Did you even attempt...
Yes, I think some of the candidates would be given a note by the staff, and then they would read the let's say Ilonggo or Bisaya or the local dialect. And
Can you try nga Ilonggo?
I really can't.
No, you know, the president, when he campaigns, he makes it a point to
Yes.
have 2 or 3 lines in the dialect of the place where he is campaigning. And I've seen that. You know, I am in all of, or in almost all, probably except for 1 or 2, in all the sorties where the president was around, and he exerts effort in order to greet the audience in the dialect that is familiar with that audience.
Kahit kahit palpak, okay lang eh. Parang
Yes,
tuwan-tuwa yung mga tao, no?
yes,
that
yeah.
you make
Yes.
the effort.
It makes you connect to the crowd.
Yes.
Right.
But if you're going to, let's say, maayong gabi, and you'd be so
Gabi.
you'd be so good at it, then after a while they'll expect you to continue, but you only have a
hanggang dyan
handful.
lang ako.
Yes.
Senator Magsaysay, do you have that same challenge?
I think Sunny is right. You greet them in the vernacular and then follow through like, nahigugma ako sa imo. For Cebuano, I love you.
Uh-huh.
Masaya na sila. Or sa Ilonggo, after your greeting, mayong gabi sa inyong tanan. I think you're Ilonggo, no? And then you say,
But I
naluyag
understand
ako sa
really.
imo.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, masaya na sila.
Okay. Masaya na rin
Then
ako.
Tagalog na,
I understand.
Tagalog na afterwards.
Uh-huh.
Or Taglish.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about celebrity endorsement. So you have Richard Yap, right? And
Sir Chief, yes.
Sir
Richard
Chief.
Yap, yes.
And Ding Dong Dantes. What was it like? I mean,
Well,
paano ba yan? I mean, hindi
I
po
wasn't
ba kayo
I wasn't noticed by the 11 years old to the matrons. But when Sir Chief accompanied me, it was like a very unique kind of noise.
Hysteria?
Hysteria, I think.
Really?
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
think OG Diaz yesterday tried to do it and he did it very well. It's like a shriek of something. And
Okay.
that was the first time that I see like a hero worship, especially in Bacolod and Cebu, when they see
Okay.
Sir Chief.
Okay, so you mean your very well-behaved supporters tonight freak out when they see Sir Chief?
I think they
Ganun
will
ba?
stampede towards us. And I think...
Would you? Would you like to give us a sample? No, I'm just kidding. No, don't.
I think you will also do some shriek.
No, I don't think so. I have my own Sir Chief. And Ding Dong Dantes, ganun din po ba yung reaction?
Iba naman yung kidding dong kasi kwan siya really cool. But there's something in Sir Chief that maybe his decorum, maybe simplicity and sincerity that has connected to the all generations.
Does it help in your campaign? Did your numbers improve because of their
Well,
endorsements?
the awareness has gone up a lot. Now, whether it will convert to votes cast, we'll know on May 13.
Okay. Senator,
But it should.
Senator Trillanes, you don't have any celebrity endorsements?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Well, because I don't have that many celebrity friends. But of course, Mother Lily endorsed us, yes. And so I don't know that many actors and actresses.
Is it because mukha ka na ring celebrity, so hindi mo na kailangan? Nagre-react, no?
No,
His celebrity,
Tama ba ako? Mukha bang celebrity? Okay.
his celebrity endorser is his wife.
Your wife. Okay. Yung celebrity endorsement, Senator Frank, is that very, very important? Parang nag-iba ngayon ang kampanya, no?
I don't know. It as June said, the celebrity endorsement increases your awareness. He himself is not certain how this will affect the voting preference. We'll see it in 5 days' time. As you said, nag-iba ngayon ang kampanya.
Okay. Let's get your final words before we say goodbye to you and extra from the show. So let's begin with Senator Trillanes.
Well, thank you very much, Pia, for this opportunity to be seen again and reach out to the audience through the Solar News channel. And of course, this is a different market. And in the coming days, I think we're raring to wrap up. And I really hope that the public has had enough time to discern who among the candidates are deserving to represent them in the next Congress. And I really wish they'd trust their vote to our President and through the Team PNoy. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Senator Trillanes. Senator Magsaysay?
The essence of the message that we want to send to our countrymen and to the potential foreign investors is the Philippines, it's more fun. It's not only more fun in the Philippines, but it's good to invest in the Philippines. So we have very good financial successes, and there's a lot of optimism of both local and foreign investors to come in and to start their own businesses and factories. So that is a plus. They might say there are a lot of other problems, but the most important thing is business confidence is back. And when business confidence is back with the good political leadership of the President, that means there will be more jobs to be generated. So the essence is, if times are good, they can be better if we give the President the support by doing a 12-0 this May 13. Then we will have shouted that we are supporting the improvement of our economy.
Senator Frank, before your final words, just last two questions. First, any concerns on the part of Team PNoy about all these issues about automated elections? The PCOS machines, counting, canvassing?
Well, from where I sit, we are confident that the May 13 election will reflect the will of the people. The automation, to my mind, worked in 2010. There is no reason why it should not work in 2013. If we believe that 2010 reflected the will of the people with the automated election, I am confident that the same situation will be present on May 13.
And my second question, so you mentioned 2010, 2013. I want to ask about 2016. Earlier, you had already said that Mar Rojas is going to be the Liberal Party presidential candidate. Is that still the line that you're going to say tonight?
That is my personal opinion. I maintain the same personal opinion as I made 90 days ago.
And it's going to be between him and PNoy?
That's for 2016.
2016. And your final words?
We started this campaign with a very clear choice to the people. This is the president who for the past 3 years has done everything in order to make us once more proud as a people. If we believe that the past 3 years has been good to the country, if the policies of this president indeed has brought us a better life, has expanded our economy, then we should give the president the mandate for the next 3 years by supporting his team PNoy, the 12 candidates that he has handpicked. For the first time in our history, in our political history, we have clearly defined the issues, and that is whether or not this president has done his level best, has delivered his mandate, and if he did, then we should support him for the next 3 years by giving him the support by voting for his entire slate, Team PNoy.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Senator June Magsaysay, thank you, sir. Senator Sonny Trillanes, thank you very much, sir, for being with us. And Senator Frank Drilon, thank you very much for being with us. And thank you, of course, to the supporters of Senator Trillanes and Senator Magsaysay who are here. Maraming salamat. Thank you for being with us. And thank you to our viewers for being with us tonight. This has been News.PH Live, meeting the Avance from Liwasan Bonifacio. I'm Pia Hontiveros. Thank you. Good night.